It's Chase to the Checkered, featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series from Jennerstown Speedway. Chase to the Checkered is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Nelson along with Steve Richard, and welcome to this week's program. We hope you'll join us for the next 30 minutes as Gatorade presents our NASCAR Winston Racing Series action that took place on Saturday, May 29th. We'll have feature race highlights from the Giant Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models, AC Delca Pro Stocks, Steel Street Stocks, and IntegraBank Pure Stocks. And Steve Areno, as we go into tonight's show, there's some things we need to consider here. It's still early in the season, but there are a few drivers out there that already have the handle on the competition. One of those being Sergeant Charlie Craig, and he is the only repeat winner in the late model division out of 5 events we've had for them. And he also is leading the NASCAR Northeast region with 8 feature wins there. He's running away in a win column. They've got to be thinking about not only the region, but possibly going at that national championship, and everybody will be gunning for him.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the Scanlon Clinic crew, too, as well, to make sure that that car runs perfectly every night. But we shouldn't just talk about late models. We've got a couple of other divisions here where we've got multiple winners.
You bet.
3 wins for Sean Beam and also for Scott Mitchell in our street stocks and our pure stocks. They're putting pressure on the rest of the field because if they're not careful, the rest of the competition, those guys are going to walk away with the points championship here at Jennerstown. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tonight. A lot of pressure on those other drivers.
You might say that these drivers could possibly have their faces posted at the local post office if they keep going in victory lane, huh?
Big wanted underneath it, yeah.
Hey, stay with us. We'll have the action right after this, and I think we're going to make Gatorade, the official sports beverage of NASCAR, our official drink. We'll see you right after that.
I'll drink to that.
New Neapolitan pizza from Pizza Hut tastes so authentic, it's fooling everyone.
It's from Carlos on 10th.
DeLuca's on 2nd.
Rosanio's on Church.
From Sal's on Liberty. See?
Hand-stretched dough, rich tomato sauce, and whole milk mozzarella.
I can tell by the sauce.
This cheese is talking.
The sauce is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you want to go to Sal's? You go way down. You can't walk.
Get 1 large Neapolitan pizza for just $7.99 or 2 for $11.99 every day at Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
I was going to say that. I didn't want to, blurt it right out,
This Saturday, KISS FM presents $2 cruising night at Jennerstown Speedway. That's $2 for any seat in the house. Yup, you heard me right, $2. And you'll see a complete program for the Giant Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models, AC Delca Pro Stocks, Steel Street Stocks, and IntegraBank Pure Stocks. We'll send in the clowns, jugglers, mime circus, fireworks, and an appearance by Miss Miller Motorsports. In addition to this celebration of speed, gates open at 4, late model time trials at 6:30, and racing at 7 p.m. as KISS FM presents $2 cruising night this Saturday at Jennerstown Speedway.
New Stanton Auto Body. For over 25 years, the professional reconditioner for major auto manufacturers now offers its expert service to you. From major body repair to minor or complete detail work, our highly skilled and experienced staff will have your car or truck looking and driving like new. New Stanton Auto Body uses only original manufacturer's parts and supplies. Always quality parts, complete attention to detail, all at affordable prices. New Stanton Auto Body, Waltz Mill Road, New Stanton.
First up on this week's program is the Gatorade 35-lap main for the Giant Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models. And as the field goes down the back straight, we'll post up the first 3 rows.
And on the pole, back after a week off, putting a new motor in the car, number 36, Tom Erickson. Kenny Emler on the outside. Back in the field, our hot shoes, our previous winners, plus Rick Miller's back with us this week. Mike, first time at Jennerstown in '93.
Yeah, Rick came out with that car, brand new Dillon chassis machine, as the field comes out of turn 4 for the green flag. Erickson has problems coming up the speed, almost loses the car. And look at the outside row move, Steve, as they go into turns 1 and 2. I wanted to mention this. Rick Miller set fast time for time trials for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models of 18.18 seconds. First time out of the box earlier this evening as we go up to the head position cars. Down out of turn 4, it's Ken Emler Jr. with the lead. And look at this. Galt goes around Erickson. Some drivers stuck in the back there after Erickson couldn't come up to speed, include Charlie Cragen and Steve Pellis.
They're all stacked up behind our leaders. As you can see, we're still looking at Imler on the point position, Barriotti hot on his heels. And the reason why Erickson spun his tires at the beginning of the race, Mike, it's cool here tonight, and we're going to have to keep an eye on these cars and see how the traction holds up because of the cool racing surface.
Bariotti continues to haunt the back bumper of the Haas Steak and Sea House Wally 104.7 FM machine of Ken Imler Jr. And look at him work that low side with the Stoystown Auto Record 75. Audi has won already. Ken Imler has not won this year, and they commit to this side-by-side battle working into turns 1 and 2. Audi down off the banking momentarily, trying to make the car stick, but the Haas Steak and Sea House 87 at East Freedom, Pennsylvania's Ken Imler Jr. continues to keep that Ford Thunderbird working in the middle groove. As they exit out of turn 4, all of a sudden someone new approaching the picture. The American Title and Trust 32 of Glen Galt. There's another feature winner already. So 2 previous feature winners in the early season haunting the back bumper of Imler. And as they work down the back straightaway, the young driver continues his efforts to keep that outside groove working. Through turns 3 and 4, it begins to heat up. We're going to go into the call. It's a drag race down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. Galt right there as well. And look at this. Audi trying to make the move on Imler. He has the advantage down the back straight. Here's the drag race. Into turns 3 and 4. Audi and Imler side by side, wheel to wheel. Audi trying to make it work on the low side. Imler up high and Audi breaks through for the lead.
And with the window staying open, here comes Glen Galt. He's going to assume the number 2 spot. Both these drivers looking to do what Charlie Cragen did last week, become a repeat winner. Now, we had an incident on lap 7 on the back straight. Oh, my, mayhem everywhere, Mike. It involved basically Clayton Houston and Marcatone. A lot of bumping and grinding going back way in the field. We really didn't get a chance to see exactly what happened, but a bit of carnage out on the racetrack. Let's pick up the action now. We're on lap 11, and this is the battle for the lead, and it consists of Bariotti holding on to the point position, but here comes Glen Galt in the Orange Blossom Special, and he's applying the pressure. Is Audi up to the task?
Well, both of them want to have the opportunity to be a repeat winner in victory lane. We mentioned at the intro of the show, Charlie Cragen, the only one to do so far this season. Now, Galt will work that Buick body, Port City chassis machine to the low side on another Port City chassis car, and that being the automobile of Bariotti's. But Audi held him off real good there.
Moving ahead in the event here, Mike, we're now midway through the race, and this is a battle for 4th place, and look what's going on. Tom Erickson, who had problems at the beginning of the race, is basically holding up the likes of Steve Pellis, Charlie Cragen, and Bobby Henry. We talk about Clayton Houston being a tough driver to pass. Don't sell Tom Erickson short either. He knows how to hold that middle groove on the racetrack. Here come our leaders. We're still looking at Bariotti at the point position, but look here in the number 3 spot. Tim Ice has moved up to the back bumper of Glen Galt. He's beginning to apply some pressure there. Now, let's jump ahead in the event. We're now on lap 23. This is the 2nd place battle. We talked about Ice moving up on Galt. Boy, he's really implying some very, very heated pressure.
Steve, in the 1993 season, this is the best we've seen this Howell chassis, fast racing engines, 65 Oldsmobile of Wadsworth, Ohio's Tim Ice run. He keeps trying to low side on Galt. 2 Ohio drivers that are no strangers to each other. Now, Galt gets squarely there, and here comes the Iceman in a drag race down the front straight. They work into turns 1 and 2, and Tim Ice completes the pass.
That little bit of mishandling was the only opportunity Ice needed to assume the number 2 spot over Galt. Now, Mike, what we're going to do is move ahead in the event. Last lap, we have Audi in the lead. Ice is 2nd, and look at this. Here comes Charging Charlie Cragen. He's applying pressure on the low line of Glen Galt, trying for 3rd, but Galt will hold him off. He'll finish 3rd. Here comes our winner down the front straight. It is Bariotti becoming a repeat winner here, Jennerstown 93. Ice finishes 2nd.
Into victory lane with the Gatorade 35 lap main. It's Bariotti from Jenners, Pennsylvania.
Here's a look at our top 5 finishers, and look at this, Mike, back in 4th place, Charging Charlie
Oh,
Cragen.
no, the announcer's curse is starting again.
We got to stop talking about these guys at the beginning of the show.
Hey, Bariotti continues his celebration. We'll be back after this.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians. National education centers can train you to become part of this growing field. You'll learn how to diagnose and repair today's complex mechanical and electronic automotive systems. Everything you need to get started as an automotive technician. This is a great career. Call NEC's Vail Technical Institute campus today. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
New Stanton Auto Body. For over 25 years, the professional reconditioner for major auto manufacturers now offers its expert service to you. From major body repair to minor or complete detail work, our highly skilled and experienced staff will have your car or truck looking and driving like new. New Stanton Auto Body uses only original manufacturer's parts and supplies. Always quality parts, complete attention to detail, all at affordable prices. New Stanton Auto Body, Waltz Mill Road, New Stanton.
It's the Gatorade 25 circuit main for the AC Delco Pro Stocks. And as the cars are going down the back straight, we're going to take a look at the top 3 rows and see who else is lurking back there.
Kerry Tadero with the honor of sitting on the pole tonight. Last week's winner, Bob Arsenberger, back in the middle of the field. He's going to have a tough job tonight working his way up through the field of Pro Stocks if he has any hopes of winning this week. And as they come out of turns 4, it is going to be up to Ron Brett to drop the green flag and Kerry Tadero to start the race.
As they exit down the front straightaway up the speed, look at this. The United Jewelers 15 Oldsmobile body car of Kerry Tadero fights it out with Kelly Shawless. They go fender to fender, paint scraping, but it is Tadero to the point position. Down low, it's Dynamite Don Wyant out of Davidsville with the Dunlow Transfer 19 to the low side of the Shawless screen printing 77 as they battle for the bridesmaid spot.
Oh, but we've got problems back in the field. Bill Krause loses handling on the car, keeps it from going into the wall. We keep green flag racing, but the rest of the field keeps right on moving, and we're going to move along in the event. Midway through the race, battle for the lead. Tadero still up front, but here comes Dunbar and Wyant.
Dunbar, the talented driver in third, has got that car like a cat prowling all over a dead mouse. He works to the outside, trying to box Dunbar in. This could be it, the battle for second. Down the back straight. Now Tadero has, look at Dunbar. Oh, look at this. Look at this, race fans. Oh, we're juking and jiving out of 4 with the AC Delco Pro Stocks. Wow, Steve, what is it they say, that one Broadway show, that's entertainment? Something like that. Well, this is entertainment here. And look at these guys, how close they run as they work down the back straight. It's still Kerry Tadero with the lead. Jeff Dunbar now running in second. And you know, the Bruning brother crew that set up the 07 machine, they really know how to make this car dial into the pavement. He continues pressuring, and here comes Ron Delano Jr. on the outside of the 19 of Wyant. And that's the battle for the 3rd place position. As these cars work down the back straight, we're closing in on lap 20, and then all of a sudden Dunbar will go in and get the lead under Tadero. But did you ever hit a brick wall in an event? Well, we hit a brick wall here. Watch what happens.
We move on to lap 20, and the mayhem on the macadam begins. Ouch, Denny Wingard against the outside retaining wall. He's okay, car isn't. We have debris bouncing, field gets by, we restart the race. No problem, right? Jeff Dunbar holds on to the lead. Kerry Tadero second. We have Delano pressuring for third as they work their way down the back straightaway and into the turns.
Watch what happens.
It's not all that simple, is it?
Tadero loses the automobile, and then look, repercussions, and bam, into the wall hard is the 84 Jerry Wisner, and it looks like a small oil fire, something, maybe a gas line cut. Everybody's okay in this incident, but very scary situation for the New Creek, West Virginia driver, and that being Jerry Wisner. The damage is severe to a number of these cars. Dynamite Don Wyant looked like he left a case of that go off in the right rear of that automobile. Let's watch this again from the turn 3 camera. Tadero loses. Oh, there was some contact there between himself and Ron Delano, but Delano's car going wayward and collects the 84 Wisner and, of course, Don Wyant's automobile. Well, okay, we've had some damage, some carnage, nobody injured. Look at Wisner's car. What a tough break for this flying Sunday school teacher, we call him, a truck driver by trade.
We should also point out that that knocks out positions 2 through 5 in the field, so everybody slides up, and here we go again, Mike. It's a restart.
On lap 20,
oh,
and
not again.
Another problem.
Oh.
It's Skip Pat, and he loses the automobile and gets caught by the 20-day hop. Now, you know, it gets to the point in the event, let's take the turn 3 angle of it and
again.
see maybe if it changes.
I have a feeling that the result's going to be the same, and it is. Oh, the two get together. Fortunately, not all that much severe damage. They stay off the wall. Everybody else gets around. So let's restart the race again, Mike.
This is the 3rd restart on lap 20. Significant. A battle for the lead. Rapid Robert Arsenberger takes the point position down the back straight from Jeff Dunbar. Now, Butch Durkas, first time with us in 1993, goes under Dunbar's car.
No, not again.
Another loop job. And that
Ron Delano says, no, I don't want to spend the rest of this week in the garage. But I think he's going to have to as he limps the car down into the pits.
Another study in how the fiberglass is put on these cars and is removed. Now let's try it from the turn 3 camera angle. We might as well show it all. You know, we have this crash tape that we sell on the program.
We've got a crash tape right here. We can market this.
Start volume 2 with all the incidents here. Want to point out, though, everybody was okay in that incident. Here's restart number 4. We've had another spin, and that's Skip Pat again for his second time. Hey, want to go for another restart? It ended up with the 49 of Denny Wingard into the wall his second time. There were 2 more restarts before we go on to the last lap. finally, everybody with their tongues hanging out getting finished with this event, and it's a 26 Rapid Robert Eisenberger for 2 in a row.
For the second week in a row, a smiling Robert Eisenberger in victory lane in the Gatorade presentation of a 25-lap main for the AC Delco Pro Stocks. And here is our top 5. Eisenberger back for the second week in a row. And the rest, they survived the battle. You know, Mike, considering the way this race went, our race break deals with safety. So let's go to that.
This race break is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
Ask any driver here at Jennerstown or at any speedway across the country, for that matter, what's more important than winning? Well, Mike, what they're going to tell you is safety. Safety always first. And car designers have come up with some rather unique ideas for making the cockpit safer for drivers nowadays. Case in point, last year, Larry Saylor, a street stock competitor here at Jennerstown, was involved in an accident on the front straight where he rolled the car 8 times, lost the roof to the car, and suffered some extremity damage when his arms were thrown out of the roll cage area. Well, that has prompted some people here at Jennerstown to come up with a rather unique idea to solve that problem and make it safer for the drivers. This is Mike Hemminger's number 72 street stock, and inside this car is a roof net. Here at Jennerstown, Jake Flegel helped to design the roof net. Jake, what's the roof net?
The roof net goes across the inside of the roll cage from all sides, and it's pulled tight by hose clamps, and which makes it a really tight net on the roof.
What brought about the idea for the roof net?
Well, Larry Saylor's accident down the front straightaway really bothered me, so I pursued it with the folks from M&R Safety Products in Vinland, New Jersey.
Now, Barry Audi was the first to run the roof net late last season here at Jennerstown, correct?
Right, Barry ran it in the Oldsmobile 100 in his Stoystown Auto Wreckers Camaro for me, and it worked real fine, so we pursued it further. We now have them in about 4 or 5 cars here now.
So they're not real expensive for the drivers to purchase.
No, $39.95 will get you one.
Safety first, safety last, but safety always. You know, in many respects, you're much safer climbing in behind the wheel of this race car than you are climbing in behind the wheel of your own street vehicle. And of course, unless your name is Mike Nelson.
This race break has been brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
New Neapolitan pizza from Pizza Hut tastes so authentic, it's fooling everyone.
It's from Carlos on 10th.
DeLuca's on 2nd.
Rosanio's on Church.
From Sal's on Liberty, see?
Hand-stretched dough, rich tomato sauce, and whole milk mozzarella.
I can tell by the sauce.
This cheese is talking.
The sauce is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you want to go to Sal's? You go way down, you can't walk.
Get 1 large Neapolitan pizza for just $7.99 or 2 for $11.99 every day at Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Pizza.
Pizza Hut?
I was going to say that. I didn't want to, blurt it right out,
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians. National education centers can train you to become part of this growing field. You'll learn how to diagnose and repair today's complex mechanical and electronic automotive systems. Everything you need to get started as an automotive technician. This is a great career. Call NEC's Vail Technical Institute campus today. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Back with the Steel Street Stocks in their Gatorade 20 circuit main. But before we do, we go on to Heat Race Mania. Steve, this happened earlier in the evening. Look at Lauren Stahl almost into the wall and in repercussions to the rest of the field. And look at this. Dave Will trying to hang on to the automobile and does a superlative job of keeping the Haas stake at CS number 3 in control. Now, same heat race. The battle for the lead, the 33 at Komarinsky, 75 Audi getting together. Rick Milab gets into this with a 33 at Komarinsky. So it was a wild heat race in the Thunder and Lightning division as we go on to look at the lineup for this Gatorade 20 lap main.
Rick Milab and the Triple L Larry Lee Hemminger on the front row. Mark Berkey and Mike Hemminger, some previous winners here at Jennerstown in 93, back in row 3. They're obviously expecting a good finish tonight with that starting position. And Sean the Bullet Beam, we talked about him at the beginning of the program, back in the field.
I'd like to point out, Steve, that a number of these competitors are able to get their cars back into feature race condition after that wild heat race incident or two that we had. Now, they come up to speed under starter Ron Brett's green flag, and it's a Stoystown Auto Record 37 of the rookie, Rick Milev, who takes off with a point position. But here comes the Triple L. Lucky Larry Lee Heminger to the outside. And his son's backup ride down the back straight takes the lead. And look at John Komarinsky try the low side. Up high is Jack Satoski on the sandwich of Milev. And it's Satoski getting the best of it with the Keyway Supply number 30 into the second place position.
Traffic congested back in the middle of the field as everybody's battling for positions, but it is still Larry Heminger at the point position. You know, Mike, he originally had planned on using this car as a backup for his son Mike's, but he's in the lead right now, and I'm not really running that car like a backup for Mike Heminger. However, Satoski on the low line is applying the pressure, and he's going to assume the point position as they work their way down the front straight. Larry gets himself a little bit high, wide, and handsome there, and here comes John Komarinsky in the number 3 position, working his way toward the point position. Now, let's move ahead in the event. Still the battle for the lead on lap 12, and it is Satoski, but this time it's the number 72 of Mike Heminger. He's worked his way up to the back bumper. It is not Larry Lee, it's Mike Hollywood Heminger.
And look at this. Dad Larry has a bird's eye view of his son pressuring the 30 Jack Satoski, and he says, Michael, get off the bumper and get moving. And he does. Heminger goes to the outside of the 44-year-old driver from Stoystown, that being Jack Satoski, and Heminger will work that outside line with the North Star Equipment Monte Carlo. They drag race. He decides to tuck right back in behind the bumper of that automobile. Still with the Triple L working the back bumper. 2 Hemingers out there pressuring now the 30 Satoski. Michael says, hello, how do you do, with a little love tap to the back bumper, and commits to the outside again in an effort to try to make this pass. They go into turns 3 and 4. He's denied it. Now he does a dive ball move to the low side. This is their drag race down the front straight in an effort to take over the point position. Heminger commits that low line, dirt tracks the car, and comes up with the lead.
Let's move ahead in the event right here, Mike. It's 1 lap later, and we've got a Heminger sandwich. It's a Polish sausage between some Somerset County homemade bread.
You wonder if they use cornmeal for the track drive material in this waltz around the pavement.
No, but we could use a little mayonnaise. Satoski back up on Heminger's bumper. Let's go to the live call.
You couldn't put a sheet of notebook paper between the 2 automobiles. Chrome fender dents and stars on mud guards. Whoa, look out! Woo! My goodness, there's more door knocking here than in a salesman convention. Oh my goodness, Satoski's got the, I hope his favorite colors aren't silver and black, because they've been color guarding him in this race throughout most of the event, especially after the halfway point. Now, Satoski, never say die attitude, will try the low side again on Mike Heminger, but Mike Heminger says, nothing doing. And Dad says, way to go, kid.
Satoski trying to put the same move on Heminger that Mike put on him earlier in the race, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. This is the last lap. One last ditch effort by Satoski on the low line. But as they work their way through the final turns of the race, it's Mike Heminger holding on for the lead and the victory in the 20-lap main for the Street Stocks.
Waving out there he was in victory lane in this Gatorade 20-lap event for the Steel Street Stocks. There's a look at the top 5. And Sean the Bullet Beam, did we curse these guys again?
I certainly hope not. 4th place finish, that's the same as Charlie Cragen had.
Yeah, so maybe we'll talk about him placing 4th and he'll win next week. Who knows? It's on to the Integra Bank Pure Stocks for their Gatorade 15 circuit main. Before we do, though, we had this heat race incident. Look at this. Mitzi Shawless gets crossed up, and then we want to show you this. Another female driver out of the camera now coming in. This is Linda Schwab and Katoink.
Oh, ouch. That hurt just a bit. Obviously not really seeing the incident until she exited the turn.
Both cars were able to rejoin this main event, and there's the top 3 rows.
Jones's Mills, Robin Rimmel on the pole position behind him in rows 2 and 3. Some Terminators, Chris and Scott Kokenauer, and back in the field, Dave Brunel. Will he finish 2nd again this week, Mike? We'll have to wait and see. He's finished 2nd just about every race here.
Oh, my. We're still on that case with him, aren't we? As the field comes out of turn 400, starter run, Brett's green flag. We're trying to make it 3 wide, but it doesn't quite position itself that way. But there's all kinds of havoc. Everyone trying to get through, and look at this. The blue Terminator machine through the middle of the field battles with the 22 of Rimmel down the back straight. And as they drag race into turns 3 and 4, everybody using different grooves out there. And look at this, J. O'Hay Jr. down low off the banking, but it is Chris the Terminator Kokenauer larking towards the outside and taking over the point position from Robin Rimmel. And look at this, his younger brother running in the 3rd place position. And down below there is some traffic. J. O'Hay Jr. up in the outside with the 28 machine, can't make the move. And it looks like it's Dan Campbell down to the low side of Scott Kokenauer as we have a crash exiting out of turn 2 to bring out the yellow. Involved with that, so 25 of Terry Klein and also Mike Davis 67 as we go back to racing.
We're on lap 9. It's a battle for the lead, and it's a Coconut sandwich or something like that. We've got Robin Redbreast between two Terminators. Does he stand a chance, Mike? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
Anyways, it's Chris Coconauer holding on to the point position. Rimmel working the low line, and here comes Scott Coconauer back up on the rear bumper of Rimmel as they work their way into turns 1 and 2.
Steve Marino, it's double trouble in the Integra Bank Pure Stocks this season with Chris and his younger brother as a rookie this year in the 19, Scott Coconauer. In fact, you know, we've got some fans out there that we call Terminites that are big go-getters and cheer on as these two drivers, and they're a very vocal bunch as they watch their two race out there. Now, Scott Coconauer will try the low side here on Rimmel as they dive into turns 1 and 2 off the banking, collects both automobiles, and it's a screech job for you.
With a maneuver to keep his car out of that melee, he stays down in the racing group, allows the traffic to pass through. And what we're going to do is move ahead in the race. It's late race dramatics. Battle for the lead. Still, we're looking at Chris Coconauer off front. Let's go to the call.
Coconauer on the point. Brunel tries low, cannot make the move. Setting up, 3/4 of a lap remaining. Oh, Brunel's gonna try to go for it. Here comes Scott Mitchell on the outside. We're fine in formation in 3 and 4. It's gonna be a struggle for the point. Here they come, race fans, to the checkered, and it's gonna be, wow, the Terminator. Oh, the big guy into Victory Lane with the Jim's Auto and Truck Stop, Monte Carlo, and his Gatorade 15-lap main for the Integra Bank Pure Stocks.
And in case you missed the photo finish, Coconauer first, Brunel second again, Scott Mitchell, Hay, and Corden third through fifth.
Oh, that curse is on again. Scott Mitchell, we talked about him at the intro, and he ends up not going into Victory Lane. Hey, stay with us. Words of wisdom after these messages. Crashes, crashes, and more crashes. Have you ever wondered where you can see all the mishaps from Jennerstown Speedway? Well, look no further, as we've come up with the ultimate, Jennerstown Speedway's Madcap Mishaps and Mayhem. It's a potpourri of some of the wildest short-track miscues imaginable. In our quest to bring you all the excitement, we've searched over 900 hours of production quality video to bring you spins, fires, loose wheels, totaled cars, flips, and parking lot stops. If it's in our video library, it's on this VHS. Jennerstown's Madcap Mishaps and Mayhem. It's 60 minutes of what you've been waiting for, and you can get it all live, plus $350 shipping and handling. Get your copy now. Call 1-800-274-6178. That's 1-800-274-6178. Visa, Master, and Discover cards accepted. Or mail your check or money order payable to Jennerstown Speedway Incorporated at the address on your screen. Please allow 3 to 4 weeks for delivery. That concludes racing for this week. Don't forget, you can obtain your Jennerstown Speedway coupons good for a $2 discount off reserved seating for all Jennerstown race events up to September 18th at Giant Auto Parts stores. We got the parts that move you, where you'll find Purelator products, the first name in oil filters. At participating Pizza Hut locations, sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza. At participating auto parts stores where you find quality AC Delco parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time.